The Sega Genesis came out on October 29th of 1988, and in North America on August 14th, 1989. There were a few variants of this system. I got the Model 1. There's another Model 1 also, that was the high definition graphics one, which if you can't tell the difference, it would say high definition graphics up here. I don't have one of these. I have one of them, sadly. I'm looking for one though. But there's also a Model 2, Model 3, and a few other ones licensed by Sega and made by Sega themselves, but they kind of suck. That, and there's also the Sega Nomad. It was a portable Sega Genesis, officially licensed by Sega, and if I'm right, it released in 1995, and it did not last that long, because it did not sell that well. That, and Sega also wanted to make a whole new system to compete against Nintendo, because the Master System wasn't doing so well. If you don't know what a Master System is, it's another console made by Sega before this amazing thing came out. And there's also, we'll talk about accessories later, so keep in mind for the Master System later, okay? There were, the NES was doing very, very well, but the Master System really wasn't in most regions, other than like Brazil and Japan, and that's pretty much it. So then, Sega made this thing compete against the NES, and that's what made the Genesis does what Nintendo and campaign stuff, and that's when the console wars really started to get hyped. Like, not really in the Atari ages, the NES ages, really during the 16-bit ages, that's when it started to get very, very hyped.
Genesis does
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Collins free.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't?
So that was the Sega Genesis ad back in 1988 or 89. I don't know when that ad came out, but somewhere around then. But the Genesis didn't start getting hype until...
Yo, he goes slow. He ain't no fool with that sonic speed. He just always cool. Sonic the Hedgehog. No fool. Come on, just show me what you got. Going fast is cool, going slow is not. Sonic the Hedgehog. No fool. Wild game, dude. 7 danger zones. You and Sonic speed through, or you are dead, man.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the hot new game from Genesis Games. Systems and games sold separately.
No fool.
Until Sonic the Hedgehog came out. This dude made the Genesis very, very hype and popular, and it made it sell a lot, and Sonic was a huge hit that it competed against Mario, Nintendo's mascot, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows. I like Mario, but I'm just more of a Sonic guy myself, or just Sega. Yeah. Sonic is what freaking, like, made Sega, like, very, very popular, because before Sonic, they had a mascot called Alex Kidd. Not really that popular, not really that cool. That's the reason why the Master System didn't sell well. And then they ported Sonic 1 and 2, even though they're both two different games, onto the Master System. Then this Master System sold a little bit more well, but barely though. And I think those only released in Europe, and that's what made the Master System so good in Europe. Because I never seen a copy of Sonic 1 or 2 in the US selling in the US either, or online, mainly from like Australia or Europe or Japan. Same thing with Sonic Chaos. Sonic Chaos is also on Master System also. So, yeah, that's what made the Genesis really popular. My Genesis came with Sonic the Hedgehog, but sadly my copy unfortunately stopped working. So I'll show you all the other Sonic games I have on Genesis. So right here, you could also buy ROM hack cartridges online. So you got Sonic.exe, Sonic 2, Sonic 3D Blast, more ROM hacks. We got Sonic Wonder Adventures, and we got Sonic 2 Beta, and we got Sonic CD. So unlike the NES has a front-loading system, the Genesis is a top-loading system, and it has your two standard controller ports on the front, basic AV, RF, power, and channel switch also. And another thing I actually like about this console that other consoles most likely won't have is a headphone jack. Because sometimes I'm on a road trip and we're in a hotel room, and I always take my Genesis also because I love my Genesis a lot. And my dad, because it's only like a one-room hotel room, he's like, hey, I don't want to hear that. So I'm like, okay. So then I can just turn the volume down on the TV and go chuck in a pair of headphones, and then Boom. Yeah, this thing has a headphone jack. That's what I love about this. That and the cartridges for the system are also pretty small, unlike the NES games. But you can't really blame the NES, because it was originally a front-loading system, and if it was small, it would go in, but the thing is, it would get stuck. So yeah, that's the reason why NES games are big, but Genesis games just go in like that. And then, boom. That and Genesis games also come in plastic cases. Unless you were talking about the later release games like this one. This is Sonic 3D Blast. 3D Blast also came in a plastic case, but I had the Majesco version. Because all games that are in cardboard cases, like Genesis games wise, are made by Majesco. So if you have any cardboard box Genesis games in your collection, these are the later release games that were unofficial by Sega, but still licensed by them. And they were made by Majesco. Now let's talk about hardware. The Genesis had good hardware, but not as good as the Super Nintendo. I don't have one, but the Super Nintendo was more powerful and it had a better sound chip also. But this still has good sound for most games, all the ones made by Sega, but the licensed games, not really. I don't know why, but most companies do not know how to make a good soundtrack for most games on the Genesis, unless they're made by Sega themselves, or if another company knew how to actually use the sound chip correctly. For instance, listen to Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis. And games that don't sound good, let's take a look at some of them. Oh god, oh fuck, oh god damn, turn that shit off. Oh my god, yeah, that was terrible. That audio sounded terrible on Bubsy. It sounded amazing on Super Nintendo. Literally, if you want to hear a good soundtrack, listen to the Bubsy on Super Nintendo. It's a good game in my opinion. A lot of people don't really like it, but it's good on Super Nintendo though. But not on Genesis. No, hell no. So let's take a look at some of the accessories. I actually own one of them. Probably the best one also. So right here we got the Sega Genesis power base converter, which locks onto the top of your Genesis like a cartridge, and you could play Sega Master System games on it. Because if you didn't know, here's actually a fun fact about the Genesis I forgot to tell. Genesis is literally just a Master System, just with a few newer chips. So all that this is just a cartridge bypass, and then you could lock on Master System games with a pause button, because the original Master System controller does not have a pause button, if I am correct. So here's another image of it with a game on it. And it also says card input, because some Master System games were also on cards. And here's the box for it. This is a very, very neat accessory. Not the best, but it is very, very neat. It's space saving if you want to buy a Master System, and a lot cheaper. So if you're not really into collecting, I would recommend getting this. Next up is the Sega CD. This is the one I own. This is the Model 1 Sega CD. Not the most reliable, but it is a very good system. There's also a second model. I'll put that on screen right now. This one is a top-loading system. The other one that I just showed you is the Model 1 Sega CD, and that was a front-loading one, as you can tell where it said Sega CD on the front, where it would like eject the disc. So this is the Model 2 Sega CD, where there's a thing on the side, which I'm pretty sure you could see right there, where you click, and then boom, the tray pops open, just like the original PlayStation or many other CD add-ons or just CD systems back in the 90s. And it was mainly also meant for the Sega Genesis Model 2. You could attach a Model 1 to it, but you're going to need a few other things like a mixing cable and an extension thing, which you don't need the extender, but it makes it look better. And yeah. But if I were you, I'd get a Model 1 Sega CD for your Genesis Model 1, but you might not want to because they are pretty pricey compared to the Model 2. And not as, yeah, the Model 2 goes for like $200, $300, but the Model 1 goes for like $500, and that's how much I spent on mine, fully refurbished. So how the Sega CD works is that there's a port on the side of your Genesis that you gotta take off, and it shows this. And then on the Sega CD, there's a thing right there that looks like it would take that, which it does. So then you want to gently put on your Genesis, line it up properly, and then push until you hear a snap like that, and then boom. That's how you attach your Genesis to a Sega CD Model 1 or Model 2. It's just the same thing. And the final accessory, the fucking stupid Sega 32X. Literally, what good games are on this thing other than Mortal Kombat 2, Tempo, and Knuckles Chaotix Virtual Fighter, and I think Virtual Racing was on there, but that was mediocre. What other good games are on this fucking piece of shit? I used to have one of these, and literally I got rid of it in literally a month because I could not collect for it. It was either too expensive or I just didn't really care for the thing that much. Because yeah, I've owned this thing about like a year ago, and I was like, yeah, I don't really use this thing. I only have it on for decoration, so I just got rid of it. Literally, don't buy this thing.